just one day closer from that Avengers Doomsday trailer dropping next month, you guys, and I can't stop thinking about it. Look, we got some very new, interesting reports about Doom in Avengers Doomsday, and I find it very, very intriguing that if this does turn out to be true, what kind of complexities and interactions three characters could have in Avengers Doomsday. And also it gives credence and a lot of motive to what Doom could be planning in these next two movies. Look, I am so hyped. I am so excited, you guys. All these reports and, rumors coming out, I'm going to do all kinds of videos on it because the hype that this trailer will bring next month, you guys, it's going to destroy the internet. I am hoping my reaction does like over 100,000 views, which probably won't happen. But you know what? A man can dream, can he? But Daniel RPK also did drop a scoop earlier today, which we'll jump into first. So Daniel RPK is reporting that we will see multiple versions of Doctor Doom in Avengers Doomsday, including a female version of Doctor Doom, which is interesting to me. Look, we're dealing with the multiverse here, so it only makes sense that we're going to see various different iterations of multiple characters in Avengers Doomsday and Secret Wars. So I don't know if he's going to be trying to collect every single Doom variant in the entire multiverse to go after the Avengers, the X-Men, the Fantastic Four, and all of our beloved heroes. But I am very intrigued to see how they're going to handle this. Now, are they going to do the whole Jonathan Majors thing? You know what I mean? Is Robert Downey Jr. going to play a black version of Doctor Doom? Full blackface like he did in Tropic Thunder? Which honestly is one of the greatest performances of all time. He almost won an Academy Award for Tropic Thunder. That is just absolutely wild to me. That was back in 2009 where those films weren't offensive and everybody wasn't so goddamn sensitive all the time. But it's interesting. Playing a female version of Doctor Doom, is he going to be wearing a wig? I don't know, whatever they have in, mind. I don't know if they're going to go the whole Jonathan Majors route of having every single variant of Kang be Jonathan Majors. They absolutely shot themselves in the foot by doing that because we all know what happened with Jonathan Majors. He was fired from Marvel Studios. Marvel had to scrap the entire Kang Dynasty and go for Doctor Doom. So we'll see what happens with this whole Doom variant and multiple versions of Doom showing up in Avengers Doomsday. But the nitty gritty, you guys, the meat and the potatoes. So this rumor for Avengers Doomsday is really interesting. So the multiverse twist, let's jump into it. The central theory is that Doctor Doom, featured in the film, comes from a different universe, likely Earth 828, where he was, married to Susan Storm and had a son, Franklin. So in his universe, he was with Susan Storm, and Franklin Von Doom, apparently, was his son. Tie this into the post-credits scene for the Fantastic Four First Steps, where you see Doom kneeling down, having this very interesting, connection with Franklin, having his mask off and having Franklin touch his face. Apparently, it's him reconnecting to his son in a different universe. Hence why Doom is there. So it's this very heartfelt moment of Doctor Doom reconnecting with the son he lost. I was like, oh shit. If they go down this route, this means there are going to be a very complex relationship between Reed, Susan, and Doom. Because ultimately, if Sue and Reed find out that Doctor Doom, in a different reality, in a different universe, was married to Susan Storm and had a son named Franklin that both died because of the incursions that apparently Steve Rogers caused in Avengers Endgame because he was returning the Infinity Stones and he did some things he wasn't supposed to do. I don't know. We'll see if they they jump into that. But it's going to be very complex, and it gives a lot of motive to what Doom is doing and why he would actually want to take a child, Franklin Richards, from Reed and Sue, from that universe. Like I said, these are just rumors and reports. but I find it very intriguing. And I'm not mad at it at all. I think that this is a good idea. Like a really good idea. Look, you gotta look. The emotional arc. That's the thing. Think about the emotional arc. So the twist is to have a major emotional catch point, right? The catch point of the source of the tension in Doomsday between Reed and Doom. The fact that Reed and Doom have this very complex relationship, this complex nature between them. I'm sure Doom is in, the Fantastic Four's main, timeline. They don't have the best relationship. But if you now kind of throw this into the plot where Doom steals Franklin because in a different universe, that's his son, Reed's going to feel all kinds of ways. And like I said, we don't know what happens at the very end of that post-credit scene, right? The Russo brothers directed it. They came in, they kicked Matt Shackman out. They're like, we got this. This is Doomsday, baby. Don't worry about this. So we just see them, reconnecting, right? We see them reconnecting, so to say, from this new theory and rumor. And we don't know if Doom ends up taking him or how his first interaction is going to be to seeing Sue walking right behind him. Is it going to be love at first sight again? She's in mom mode. She was like, oh, don't touch my baby. Don't you touch my baby. And is he going to be like, shoot, don't do this. I have to talk to you. That's going to be really interesting to me. She's going to be like, Victor? Oh my God, you guys, this is going to be absolutely crazy. But it makes all the sense in the world to why he would want Franklin for this entire multiversal war. So in the film, Franklin is expected to be an immensely powerful character. He brought his mom back from the dead. Just so that you know how powerful he is. He did that as a toddler. Not a toddler, a full-blown baby. He brought his mom back to life, right? And Doom's priority, or his primary goal, essentially, in Avengers Doomsday, is to use Franklin's power to kind of reshape the multiverse as it collides with incursions, possibly even restoring his own universe again. A man will go to arm's lengths. A man will walk the entire world for his family. I think that it's very much possible. And now there's been some kind of comic book iteration where, Dr. Doom is like Valerie Richards, I believe Godfather or whatever. There's been some kind of iteration that's been teased in the comic books. But as far as going for like Sue and, Doom actually being together and having a son, that's not canon. I think that's just being, invented through the MCU's lens, which is completely fine with me. But if they really do decide to do this, man, it's a big, bold swing. And I really like it. Like, it's really freaking awesome, you guys. And of course, they will close this video out with Chris Evans. We all know that he's going to be playing this nomad character, right? Chris Evans turned into nomad when he lost faith and the trust in the U.S. government, threw away the shield, put on a darker suit. But I'm like, we kind of did see that at the end of Civil War, going into Infinity War and Endgame. He was already like nomad Captain America in Infinity War. So there's speculation that he could be, Hydra Captain, America, which would be really interesting, going up against Sam Wilson. Can you imagine a racist Captain America going up against a black Sam Wilson? That's going to be absolutely wild. But we're not going to dig that deep into, the politics of it all. But I'm excited to see Chris Evans return in some kind of shape or form. I want to see Old Man Steve whip a whole bunch of ass. Hopefully Old Man Steve comes. I'm waiting for the moment where Old Man Steve comes out of retirement and he's got the shield and he's like, I can do this all day. Oh, man, I'm telling you, the crowd will go hype for that moment. But let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. Let me know what you guys think about Daniel RPK's report stating that we're going to have multiple variants of Dr. Doom, including a female version that could possibly be Robert Downey Jr. in a full-blown wig, which would be funny. Let me know what you guys think about this new theory and report of Dr. Doom in his reality having a wife within Sue Storm and a son, Franklin Von Doom. How do you think that could actually play out in these next two films for a motive for Dr. Doom to really, shape the multiverse into, his particular liking? But honest thoughts and opinions, let me hear in the comments down below. And of course, thank you guys for taking time out of your day for watching SeaWorld Productions. Peace.